What? I don't even know where to start on this one. I thought I knew where everything was going to go, and it didn't.
Nope.
It just did not.
Nothing ever does. Well,
I even was like, last episode, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe he'll get the jaw tightened, but that would be silly.
Yeah.
And then that's exactly what happened.
Well,
and in not at all a silly way. It was really well done.
yep. It's never silly. Are you kidding me? It's Attack on Titan. What are you talking about? It's not a silly show.
It's not.
It's not a silly show. I would never use silly to describe.
I will say, Goth Mikasa made an appearance.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to this episode of 2Fast2Movie. I'm Abraham. That is Ben. And we have just watched episode 19 of Attack on Titan called Two Brothers. Now, we have already watched the episode, so we're going to go ahead and go into the reaction in just a second. But before we do, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button and let us know what you thought about this episode. We're going to be doing a discussion after our reaction, and, we'd love to hear your thoughts about that in the comment section down below.
I pointed towards the wrong corner last time. This one is for a video that you should watch.
That one.
This one is for a... That is how you subscribe to the channel
That is a red Solo cup. All right, we're going to go ahead and go into the reaction, and we will be right back.
I'm falling.
I'm telling you, the way he, ragdolls off is
Oh, yeah, no, he's a little...
objectively pretty funny.
No.
Yeah. There we go. Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's pissed. Fuck you, Eren.
Uh-oh.
Psych. Look at it. Here you go. Yeah, he totally...
Yep. That's exactly what I thought.
He was pretending to...
Wait a minute. They just need a touch.
Yep, they just got a touch. Here we go.
It's episode 3.
He's at the 40, the 30, the 20.
Oh, Gabby. What?
Halfway point.
What?
You're goddamn lucky that you didn't have to wait a week for that. We had to wait a month after that chapter ended.
Oh. Eren's not playing the same game.
He did not. They couldn't shake hands.
Is Zeke gonna catch the head? Fucking hell. Yep.
They caught it. They touched.
Oh.
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 Whoa. Bro, what did you put in these edibles? Oh my God.
God damn, Isayama, you make it really difficult to do my job and make funny bits when that shit's happening. Yeah, that's accurate. Is there another little girl in the lore we don't know about? Okay, he's not going along with that. What is Eren's actual fucking plan?
I unironically feel so bad for Zeke.
No, I do. From a character standpoint, this is everything he believes, and he puts so much trust in Eren.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, brother, why?
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What?
It all just got turned around, baby.
Okay, we'll be right back with the fucking conversation.
Yeah, I just see already the neurons just firing in your brain right now. I really like this episode. This is probably the best. This is definitely the best episode so far.
I thought it was very boring, Abraham.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This best episode so far of the season for part 2. I think so.
Yeah, no, all seriousness, yes, obviously.
I might even go so far as to say best episode of season 4. as a whole, it's up there.
Ooh.
Like with Declaration of
I'd
War.
have to say, no, I think that this was way better than Declaration of War. Just like from having rewatched Declaration of War recently and the emotions that leaves you with versus what this did. Because they both leave you with a lot of questions.
Well,
Declaration of War fucks you up because you just weren't expecting it to happen.
It's all anticipation.
Yeah.
This is payoff.
Yeah, this is...
It's just wildly different.
And, like, I'm so curious as to where the narrative goes from here now, because I was really sure that Eren was going to turn out to be the bad guy in all this. And now I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
and
because
I don't know if that's the show tugging at my heartstrings.
It's because Zeke now has control, and also he was like, why the fuck? He like openly was like, why in the fuck would I ever go along with such an idiot, like, shitty plan?
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. Yeah, I do want to quickly point out, from a manga reader's point of view, I will say I'm feeling a little salty because you guys don't have to wait on that cliffhanger of Eren getting his head decapitated by Gabby. We had to end that chapter there and we had to twiddle our thumbs for a whole fucking month trying to come up with theories on how it could be done.
And this time it's the mid-episode
It's the mid-episode part. I'm so upset. Which I did say in the last episode that we reviewed, I wish that there was a bigger cliffhanger on that.
Yeah, it seems like you wanted the cliffhanger to be the scream.
Yes, but I will say that the Two Brothers motif does play beautifully with everything that they've included in the episode, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think that was losing, because episode 2 of this season, for 18, I guess it is what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was an okay episode. It was mostly character work that was being done. However, like, it was very obvious, and like you could even tell by how YouTube looked after the fact and everything, that it just not a ton happened. There wasn't a ton of buzz. I got a message from both you and then later my girlfriend that were like, "Hey, don't go on the internet."
Yeah, don't go on the internet.
Yeah, just avoid it.
I'm gonna say for the next like 5 weeks, don't go on the internet. Before Sunday. Just don't, because I'm letting you know it's gonna keep going.
No,
There's no.
I had to deal with dodging manga spoilers this time last year.
Yeah.
So
You're seasoned.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the episode proper. So first, I actually kind of want to talk about something that happened just before Zeke Scream.
Yeah.
Or actually, I should say just after Zeke Scream. That is the whereabouts of Mikasa, Armin, Jean, and Connie.
Yes.
All of those people and their whereabouts. I thought it was a very interesting choice to have Mikasa and Armin not be with Eren in this moment.
So I could see it from a strategy point. I could. There's a couple reasons for this. Character-wise, I think Mikasa might actually want to be putting distance between herself and Eren.
That's what I'm thinking.
For her own
Armin as well.
Mental health. Yeah. Actually, I think Armin is a little bit going into what I talked about last time, where he's useless inside the wall.
Yeah.
If he needs to transform, he needs to be able to get over to the other side of that wall really quickly. And also, she's the best fighter. She's the only person that you could really put up against the Cart Titan and would have the mobility to be totally okay.
Yeah. She was pretty ineffective against Reiner last time without Thunder Spears.
Yeah, so I think having her go do that was a very clutch move. She did however, that being said, obviously they ended up very locked in combat and unable to deal with anything and just occupying the Cart Titan,
which was enough.
Well, yeah,
because it got them to it got them to touch.
That being said, the Jean and Connie, of course, given that situation, you would send them down there, but also I could see Jean wanting to be close to Eren to keep an eye on whatever the fuck's going to happen, because Jean is doing all of this. He does not trust Eren in the least, and this is definitely, in my opinion, him choosing to be closer to Eren is a keep my enemies close type situation.
Yeah, definitely.
And also Connie has a very acute hatred of Reiner, in my opinion, given the stuff that happened with his hometown and how because Connie's the person who all of these betrayals has probably hit closest to home.
Because
he was really close with Reiner, and because of information that obviously Reiner, Bertold, and Annie knew about, they ended up. He lost his entire hometown.
Yeah,
his parents and everything. So I understand why, from a character standpoint, they would all end up where they went.
Yeah.
That being said, I have no idea how that is going to play out next episode, because I'm not even sure what the fuck we're about to see next episode.
Yeah, because we're no longer in current time anymore. We're in an alternate dimension.
Yeah, we're
dealing with Eren and
yeah,
we're in the past.
This is a big deal.
We're gonna have to put a we have
to put a pin in that. Yeah, because that's a big part of this conversation today.
So let's go ahead and go into Zeke's Scream and all of the fuckery that happens as a result. So Colt dies.
Yeah, I mean,
let's run through.
Yeah, okay.
Let's run through everything. Just let's get a body count.
Yep.
Colt dies. Falco turns. Reiner ends up believing that he is going to die, so he chooses to sacrifice himself.
Yep.
Then Galliard sacrifices himself, causing Falco to now become the Jaw Titan.
Yep.
And also, 300 Titans are now just in Shiganshina.
Yep.
And also, Pyxis is dead.
Yes. Well, Pyxis is a Titan.
Well,
we don't know what Pyxis Titan looks like, actually.
We trust me, we will get it.
Oh God!
They're not gonna. Why they don't put a they don't turn
they don't give a named character a Titan without giving us a look of what that Titan looks like.
This is one of the first times where a named character's death is as a result of them turning into a Titan.
Yeah,
because like normally it's like Ymir and Falco both turned back.
Yes.
This is the first time when we're like,
they're not coming back.
They're probably not. I mean, unless
someone gets fed,
yeah,
which I'm not 100% sure is going to be available.
Pyxis gets the cart Titan. Hell yeah. Yeah.
There's no chance in hell.
Let's first off, Colt dying. Super sad. That whole
that's he had to know what was going to happen on that.
He said as Zeke screamed and as Falco was glowing, he was like, "I'm not going to leave you. Like it's like I'm gonna be here right by you."
Yeah, but
he was basically he thought Falco was gonna die, so he's like, "I'm gonna go
with you."
Yeah,
which is one of the reasons why the two brothers motif worked so damn well in this. And then honestly, Reiner resigns. The whole
Falco Reiner,
the whole scene structures and everything that was going into the Reiner giving himself and being like, well, this is what I wanted anyway. It's over.
It's very well done.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I can just let this happen now and it will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that I was wondering why they decided to show us Galliard's brother's memories in that moment.
It's because it's set up.
Well, I didn't realize that it was from Galliard's point of view that he was experiencing this when he touched Reiner.
Or, what's his name? Marcel, you mean?
Marcel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I didn't realize that Marcel was the one experiencing.
Oh, that Galliard? Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that threw me off was I thought that Galliard would have already seen that by now.
No, that they actually made a point of that in part 1.
That he hadn't seen any of his brother's memories.
He had only seen Ymir's.
Yeah.
So that he was like, he's been waiting for it, and because Reiner was touching Eren, and because Reiner touched
him, it allowed the chain of events to pass, and that sacrifice was fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
for Reiner, and naming this episode Two Brothers and allowing that sort of thematic motif to play out throughout the episode. It worked so damn well, realizing that the sacrifice was there for him, and then essentially still gloating to Reiner at the end of like...
Yeah, that's my favorite part about the whole sacrifice, is that he like ends it all by saying like, I guess I was better than you after all, and then just dies. Dude.
Yeah.
Stay true to character, like...
Yeah,
very well done.
I fucking loved everything about it.
This is why by the way, I say it's very hard to critique Isayama.
Because he's really good.
He's really
with
good
a lot of stuff. He's just not great at plot holes and problematic storytelling.
Yeah.
he has weaknesses, and we can
Yeah.
clearly identify them. They are not in art, and they are not in plot.
No, nor in dialogue or motif or
I would say characters are always strong.
Yeah.
Motifs are always strong. Plot is always strong. He's really fucking good
yeah.
at actually telling its story. It's just the little parts of it that are actually reflective.
It's like
of
when you go deeper into it, you're like,
you're like, that doesn't really work in the world. He struggles actually in world building, in my opinion.
yeah. Well,
let's talk about really good world building.
Yeah,
actually,
'cause
to contradict myself entirely.
the craziest thing happens in this episode. Eren is like, well, I already talked about the thing that happens in this episode that isn't in the manga. Reiner punches Eren. Eren uses the Warhammer Titan to crystallize himself, trapping Reiner and his arm.
Yes.
And then, anime only, he backflips out of the Warhammer Titan and just starts sprinting.
Yeah.
The backflip is new. And Gabby's waiting there. And with an anti-Titan rifle.
It was a sniper.
No, it wasn't.
Was that an anti-Titan?
Yeah, because Colt made a mention of it last episode.
Oh, okay.
That he's like, what is that thing that you have on there? It's like, oh, it's an anti-Titan rifle.
I didn't realize that that's what that was.
They basically made them so that you can
portably use them individually.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
So she picked one up and just sniped Eren, and his head goes spinning just like in the manga.
Clean off.
Clean. And then we go to a flashback. That whole shit happens.
The ball thing. It's except Eren doesn't catch the motherfucking ball.
That's I love the inclusion of that. I will say, I think that they could have cut the first half of the flashback a little bit.
I actually no, I disagree. I disagree.
Take that back.
It was really important to recontextualize what the moment was that we were looking at.
And if they cut more of it, the audience would have been like so into their like, oh my god, Eren's dead. They wouldn't like that. You need time to like.
Yeah, you need time to emotionally come down.
Exactly.
I think that it was very well done.
Yes.
Eren does not catch the ball though.
Yeah, because they didn't touch hands.
Yeah.
And Zeke was like, can't touch hands. I can't do handshake. So here, catch the ball. And Eren's like, well, he didn't even do that. He didn't even go for it. It like goes like right past him. So a very good indicator or foreshadowing of two things.
Eren's not on the same page as Zeke, which you can, going back to the reaction earlier, I don't know if you included this, you can see my eyes fucking light up probably of just like, oh, this is very different.
Yeah. And then you also said something else too. As they were cutting back to present time, you were like, does that mean he's going to catch the head? And I was like, that's exactly what it was. So yeah, that's all it is. In the second that Eren is about to die, with the little consciousness that he has.
Fun fact: you stay conscious for 7 seconds after you're decapitated,
which is just enough time because that's how long he was floating in the air.
Yep.
Just boop.
And that's all that needed to happen.
Yep, for the paths to be activated. That transition to the path realm was beautiful. The manga does not do that at all because it can't really animate. It just shows like little individual like shards.
Yeah.
This is just very well done. Very good.
We did get Goth Mikasa and Nerd Armin in there, which I was like, when we were going back and breaking down like each of the frames coming up, because it was like, okay, what in here is stuff we have seen or haven't seen, and there are a couple things that we have not seen yet in there.
Yeah, they're either from the future, like a future that we have not seen, or they're from the past that we have not seen.
And then to extra throw you guys off, there is not a random goth lady that pops up.
So we were watching it back.
That's what I fucking thought.
We were watching it back, and I was like, wait a minute, is that? Oh my god, it's Goth Mikasa. If you don't know who Goth Mikasa is, and Nerd Armin, Isayama likes to sometimes write alternates for his characters, like where they're in alternate worlds. And there is an image of Mikasa and Armin. Mikasa as a goth and Armin as a nerd, like with wearing glasses and like her with like a choker and like pigtails kind of. It's very odd.
I was like looking at him just like, what kind of world breaking shit am I looking at?
Yeah, no.
Like I'm Nerd Armin, the only thing that's off is why does he have horn-rimmed glasses?
Yeah.
But then Goth Mikasa, I'm like, that's a choker, and those are pentagrams.
And that's lipstick. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, what's going on? I thought it was a different character.
Yeah, no. It's and again, I only said it's Goth Mikasa. It doesn't look like Mikasa, but because it's Nerd Armin, I made like the I was able to be like,
but then if you pull up the character art, you can easily see
you can
that
tell,
they're the same person.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out.
But
back
to the actual, not the Easter egg, but the actual fucking plot.
Hey, Goth Mikasa might be important. You know, what Grisha failed to mention in that season 1 moment was you needed to save Goth Mikasa's life. Not Mikasa.
But Goth Mikasa.
For Goth Mikasa, for Nerd Armin, you must save them. That's exactly what
that
Grisha meant.
We were missing.
So back to reality,
Yes.
or should I say an interdimensional
Oops, there goes gravity.
Time and space. Damn it, Ben.
You set it up perfectly.
I know.
Okay, well, let's talk about the founder Ymir.
Yeah,
this whole space.
She struts in. They finally give an explanation for the magic system. I don't know if you heard it. 100%.
You're gonna. I think I may have missed it because I was dealing with a lot of emotions in that moment.
Zeke made one comment that explains the entire thing, like how the Titans are formed. So if you notice, Titans materialize out of nothing, right?
Yes.
And Hanji has even called attention to this in a previous episode. Basically, what happens is anytime that they call on the power of the Titans, whether it be turning someone from a human to a pure Titan or turning someone into a Titan shifter, like biting your hand and doing that, Ymir will basically use this infinite time to carve everything out of sand.
Oh.
So basically, so what is happening is that Ymir basically shoving in a Titan through the pass. Anytime that a Titan materializes.
And it essentially all the energy that is making these Titans is coming from a... So is the paths like not in people's brains? Is it like a pocket dimension?
Yes, kind of. Yeah, so basically she's like ripping a pocket dimension in time and space and then just putting a Titan there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if it's a pure Titan, they will basically like mold a pure Titan around you.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's it. It's literally explained in one line.
I did catch that. I thought it was like much more like spiritual gumbo, but I guess it's no longer spiritual when you're literally standing in heaven. It's like,
well, it's because they're like, these are all memories, and it's like all the memories that have existed all at the same time, and it's happening outside of things. And because years happen, but it's also an instant. The only explanation is that it's a pocket dimension.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, there's no. It's very unmagical now. It's a little bit more grounded.
I don't really think that at all, honestly.
Not grounded.
It doesn't feel like it got demystified.
They definitely. I just mean that they have finally like.
There's finally a little bit of like where the conversion of matter comes from and how that is bypassed.
Yeah, that's pretty much how. Yeah. I mean, it's still divine because people are being brought back from the dead.
And they're also being made of sand.
And
which is not flesh.
Yeah, exactly. So now we can move on to the crux of the episode, the final pair of brothers, if you will.
Yes.
Because Eren, as we said before, betrays Zeke. Finally.
Which, again...
It's great that Armin was right.
Yeah, it's great that Armin was right. We still don't know what Eren's actual motive is, because we know that he wanted to use the Founding Titan powers for something.
Yes.
I presume it would be the rumbling at this point, because I don't know any other thing that he has in his back pocket for using the Founding Titan. That being said, there were a couple things that, like, in hindsight, I was like, the betrayal should have been a little bit more obvious. Namely, with Eren, we had all the tools, and I got a lot of hope in that moment. And it's the same hope that I got when he decides not to catch the ball. It was like that. Those two moments back to back are like, oh yes, okay, our boy is still probably in there. As
well as him saying, "Wait, don't scream."
Yeah, that was another thing we didn't talk about. I'm like, why would he want to halt the scream? And it's like, oh, he does not want his friends to. He does not want this to go down. he's trying to do a completely different solution than whatever Zeke has planned.
Yeah.
And the fucking in reality there's 3 moments there, and that was such a good moment. But part of me, this entire scene was going, why does Zeke have chains in this area? He didn't have chains when we saw him in the paths in the first episode.
Yeah. So
that had me very concerned, and I'm like, what's going on? Something's wrong. And then
it's the moment where where Eren's like, lend me your power, and Ymir just walks by. And can I just say, I love that in this episode, this is the most expressive Eren's been.
Yeah, this is the most we've seen from him the entire time.
The like pure rage. It's comparable to when Armin called him a slave that one time.
Yeah.
But when he denies Zeke's plan, and when he's shocked by Ymir,
yeah,
like it's like we're finally seeing a character and not just
whatever front he's been putting on.
Exactly.
Because it has always felt like this does not feel like Eren. Throughout the entirety of season 4, it's been like something's off.
Yeah.
The only time that it did kind of feel like Eren was when he was talking to Reiner.
Yeah.
And that was literally it.
I mean, he has a hell of a poker face.
Yeah. No, that is fucking for sure. Holy shit.
But so he finally like tried to activate like Ymir's power. Grant like let me your power. Goes to Zeke. Zeke finally flips the whole thing on Eren, basically saying, I only did this. When I got here before you, I found out how to undo the renouncing of war. So now that whole royal blood bullshit thing where the past king turns you into a zombie or whatever if you have the royal blood, no longer a thing anymore. And so now, because of this, and because of the fact that the founder Ymir is a slave who believes her masters are the people with the royal blood, Zeke now has control of the founding titan in its entirety. So that means he can do the euthanization plan.
Yep. He can do the euthanization plan. Not only can he could do the euthanization plan, he can do the rumbling.
He can do whatever.
He has complete power over the situation, which I was not at all expecting to happen.
Yeah,
I was not at all expecting this to go down, because the show drills into our heads.
It says that over and over again. Yeah, Eren's in control.
Eren's in control. And the only reason why we believe this is because we see Eren in control touching a pure titan of royal blood. Because in that situation, he was the only conscious person, and the person with royal blood was a titan.
Yes.
But now that that the other titan shifter is
a conscious person, they now have free reign. Yeah.
And also the fact that there's a solid chance that perhaps in Zeke's way of not renouncing war is just that he didn't have to inherit the founding titan. He just needed to use their power.
I think that's exactly what it is.
I think that's what his plan was.
Because he said, like, I was not tainted like the other founding titans were.
Yeah.
Like, I got here without directly having it.
Yeah.
And because of that, he's able to do all this.
Exactly.
Fuck shit.
And I believe I don't think it's like anything like, because it's almost, I think he's bluffing to Eren when he's like, I've been here in the paths for years before you, and I have figured out how to unbind it.
I think actually that's real. I could be wrong, because that could also be a front, but he does have long nails. His hair is grayer. It's longer. He has a beard. So, and that didn't go away when he took the chains off.
No, it did not.
So I think there is some truth to that. Maybe it's not like thousands of years, but maybe it could have been like, I don't know, like 10 years.
Yeah, it still could be enough, but I'm not 100% sure that is how he did it, because if there's anything season 4 has proved to us, unlike previous seasons, is that characters fucking lie.
Yeah. They can do that.
Which, like, there was plenty of that in previous seasons with, the Titan shifters, obviously. That's espionage.
Exactly.
It's the whole, like, they have to have one lie that they're keeping, not mountains and mountains of, like, fucking 3D chess that these guys are playing with each other.
Yeah, because that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. And of, like, Eren has never been the smartest person in the room, so of course he's going to be outmaneuvered by Zeke, who is quite often the smartest person in the room.
Who studies Titans more than anybody, who probably found this out after he took on the Beast Titan from Mr. Saver. So,
so like he had plenty of ways to fucking figure this shit out.
I do also want to touch on two final things before we go into before we finish off the episode. First, Ymir being a slave with no will. That is a very appointed thing.
I was not expecting that at all.
So what do you make of that? Of the character, the person, the entity?
I see a lot of poetic symbolism to Eren.
Mm-hmm.
I even see it being down to the point where I think that there's even a solid chance that Eren might even try to liberate her from the situation. Honestly, one of the things that I could see potentially being planned might be to remove Titan shifting from Titans in general. I could see that being something that, now that I understand a little, willful thing, because I have no idea now. I have no idea if the rumbling is going to be caused by Eren or Zeke. That's the other thing right now. I have no idea what's going to be.
That's what I'm saying, and I know you've, and I know like we've talked about the rumbling, but like, and like the intro kind of like shows that it will happen in some capacity.
Yeah, it will happen in some capacity. But I've always assumed that it was going to be Eren and like his pure hatred for the outside world.
Yeah,
but this is playing a little bit better into what has been previously written.
Yes.
Because we know that Eren has seen the world, understands that they're not monsters outside of the walls. They are all people with complex lives. That's one of the reasons why when he gives the monologue to Reiner, it's so baffling when he transforms.
Yes.
Because he sees that he has to do this no matter what. And this is I have no idea what Eren has planned. I also have no idea how he can reasonably get out of the situation right now.
That's Eren for you.
That's the other thing here.
Yeah.
I'm just genuinely blown away. But going back to the founder Ymir, which is the subject of this question, I find it very curious. One of the things that has me a little bit intrigued is we are going to need to find out about what actually happened to her as the founder that caused it to be like this, because I was not anticipating this at all. I was anticipating Ymir being more of a godlike figure.
So you think we're gonna get like a POV or like a?
I think we're gonna. Based off of just the intro alone, I think we're getting a Ymir POV at some point. Just based off of entirely off of the intro of this season, I think we're getting a Ymir POV.
Okay, but I cannot wait to see if that comes to fruition. But anything else you want to say about Ymir in these final moments before we move on to that?
I'm still coming off the high that was this episode.
Yep,
I have plenty of adrenaline rushing through me.
Well, let's kind of come down and kind of talk about what we think might happen in next episode.
Okay.
We have not seen the preview, so don't worry. You don't have to worry about spoilers. But he does make mention of one final thing, saying, I'm going to fix you with the Founding Titan because Grisha has brainwashed you. We have come back to this topic. We've actually had this conversation before, whether or not Grisha had an influence on Eren. And now it seems like we're going to get an answer in some form.
I would be, again, this is the moment where if we do a flashback and I find out that because we also have to talk about what he means by brainwashing. Because
I would imagine like indoctrinating, just like what happened with
the indoctrination with Zeke. We have not seen evidence that that's what happened with Eren at all. So unless there's a flashback next episode where we find out that he was sort of teaching Eren the theory of the Titans, which I do not think happened at all.
We've only ever seen 3 flashbacks, I think, with Eren and Grisha.
Well, no, the
three moments of the whole show.
I don't think that it's possible is because if that were true, Eren would have known a lot more about the Titans going into season 1.
No, it's not about the Titans. I think it's about his ideology.
And
that's more what he's
so I guess my question for you is, what is the ideology that you think is being expressed here?
Basically, Eren's whole...
The ideology that people deserve to live?
No, I'm saying basically the foil between Grisha and Zeke was that of someone who wanted to fight oppressors and do anything it takes to be quote unquote free, while Zeke wanted to essentially be passive and not have conflict, to at least try to like enjoy some semblance of life, or I guess the rejection of it.
That's a very good thing to talk about, actually, because there's a couple symbolic things that are mirrored here.
Because Grisha can do that without talking about the Titans at all.
Well, not necessarily. So one of the things that's really important for Eren to have been raised up with this idea would be if there were very well-defined power structures that oppressed people within the walls. And while Isayama does kind of hint at them being there, they have never really been truly involved in the story from before the walls fell.
Okay.
And one of the examples of this is like when we went back and we talked about the when we talked about some of the world building that was done within the walls and other things, and the fact that there's these underground cities, and like, okay, that's an interesting world building thing. We're seeing people oppressed and down there. Eren doesn't come from any of those underground cities. He's never been an actual victim of oppression.
The walls existing.
No. The walls existing, yes. And the whole idea of escaping and getting out from the Titans, I think, is one of the few things that does have a little bit of a manifestation. However, it is not the same as with people, and it is you could argue that maybe Grisha's like, hey, you need to get outside of the walls, but again, I'm never going to make a statement that is something that's happened unless I'm explicitly shown it in a show.
I'm not saying that it has happened. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the show has explicitly gone out of its way to not show that the relationship between Eren and Grisha. The only time that we've seen like one instance of that would be when he gave him the power and the final words that he said to him before he left in episode 1. And
I'll show you what's in the basement, which I think is a hint, but
no, not that. I'm actually talking about when he was like, when he wanted to join the Survey Corps, and he was like, why do you want to join the Survey Corps?
I see.
And then Eren
we're going way back.
Eren gave his whole reasoning, saying like, I don't want to be lived inside these walls, caged like an animal for the rest of my life, which plays directly to Grisha's life.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, did Grisha implant it? The question is, did Grisha implant that ideology in him or not?
So here's the thing. The reason why I don't like this question is because it is 100% Zeke projecting his own problems onto Eren. Because if Grisha,
mutually those. I don't think those are necessarily mutually exclusive.
No. But the reason why I don't like that question is because this is just what happened. Because if Grisha did, it's just a byproduct of living with a man with those ideologies and having them as a father figure.
Yeah,
because we haven't seen anything of like the abusive nature that Grisha had with Zeke.
That is true.
With Eren, which ultimately, even though Zeke hates Grisha for that, he doesn't hate Grisha because of the ideals. He hates Grisha because of how much abuse he had to put up with as a child when he was enforcing those ideals.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm like, Zeke's grievances here are with the fact that he was abused, not the ideals, but he's projecting the abuse onto the ideals.
That is very true.
That's the reason why I'm like, it doesn't matter if Grisha did this, because even if he did, there's no evidence that he was an abusive father, which is actually what Zeke's problem is here.
Yeah.
And Zeke doesn't know that it's this problem, because if characters in television had therapy, then there wouldn't actually be a plot most of the time.
But mental health is obviously not a thing that exists in this world.
No. That being said, one of the things that I actually find kind of fascinating is that I think that, and going back to the whole idea of being passive and wanting to avoid a fight, and this more coward stance.
He specifically said he didn't want to end up like Faye.
Yeah.
Like, and die, like, with all of his family. He's like, why can't you just read me books and do parent shit?
This is the thing.
That goes back to the abuse.
I personally think that Zeke's ideals are actually almost the same, if not identical, to the King Within the Walls. Here's why.
Okay, go for it.
We know one thing from the actual information that we know about the king that Zeke does not know.
Okay.
Which was that if there was ever an invasion on Paradise, he was just going to let it happen.
Yeah.
As an atone for their sins and essentially wipe out the Eldian race. What's Zeke trying to do? Slowly wipe out the Eldian race. because of their existence, because of their sins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have very similar
the same
ideology.
thing. It's just Zeke is seeing the oppression outside of Eldia and outside of the walls of paradise as the same thing as them being attacked. He's seeing it as the same thing. He's seeing it as, this is where we are going to end it all, and I'm just going to press the button that the King Within the Walls hasn't done yet. Because the other thing to note is that ultimately, if Grisha hadn't stolen the Founding Titan, this is what would have happened by now.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great analysis. I don't have anything else to comment on because, no, I mean, we're going to see...
We're going to see it next week?
Next episode, I'm assuming. So I guess join us for that reaction discussion. Hopefully it is as exciting as this episode was. I know it will be. And trust me, don't go on the internet. If you're not able to watch it on Sunday, just stay away. That's a PSA for everyone. But until next week, my name is Abraham. That is Ben. If you enjoyed this discussion, please let us know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. If we had any points that you disagreed with or agreed with, just let us know. We love starting discussions with you guys down there. Until next time, I'm Abraham. That's Ben, and this is 2Fast2Movie.
Click the fucking red solo cup.
Bye!